Hi, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Today we are going to start one new series of the topic UAE VAT. There are many people they work in accounts department in that country and they want more practical information related to the taxation system. And in the taxation system today we are going to discuss what, because there are two taxation system mostly. If I talk about, one is VAT, of course custom duty is there, excise duty is there. So mainly is what, VAT, and another is newly implemented tax, that is corporate tax. So today we have the agenda to start learning the topic VAT, UAE VAT, right? So after completing this series of the topics UAE VAT, you will get to know that you are very much like smart enough to understand the logic behind the UAE VAT. You will be able to understand how to deal with the transactions, whether we should apply VAT, whether not, how to get input tax recovery, what are the export transactions, what are the import transactions, right? Intra GCC transactions, how to handle those things. So there are small things, but these are technicals. You should be having the sound knowledge of these things, then only you will be capable enough to post the transactions happening with this kind of things. So let me start from the scratch. If I want to start learning the VAT, teaching you the VAT, I should not start from the VAT first. I should start teaching you what is the taxation system. It will take 5 minutes, I think 5 to 7 minutes, I think. Then slowly we will migrate to the taxation system. What is tax? Then taxation system, how to collect VAT by the government department. There are two mechanisms, direct tax and the indirect tax. Then we will come to the point, that is UAE VAT. In this video, I will try my best to cover each and every aspect of the taxation system. First, VAT I will cover. Then after this series, I will try to cover corporate tax. So if I take you to the writing screen, okay, to the writing screen. So first, what I'm telling you, we have to understand tax. What is the meaning of tax? You understand? Usually you understand like tax is the amount. Usually you understand tax is the amount levied by the government authority. Why they are taking money from the public? Basically when we roam around any, like any area, like we need proper road facility, we need government police facility, in the corona time vaccination, free vaccination facility. So technically we expect from country government that we should get, as a public, we should get the facilities, free facilities, at least some concessional rate facilities, right? So if you think that you should get this kind of facility, proper facility, so to provide this kind of facility by the government, don't you think government has to make some expenses? And for that purpose, government needs money. Very simple it is. So tax is nothing but the money given by the public to the government authority to get the facility, right? To get the facility. So tax is very important point. Actually, we should pay tax. Then you will say that, Mr. Nishant, why before VAT implementation in UAE there was no tax named as VAT, excise duty, custom duty. Custom duty we can leave, on excise duty we can leave right now. We are just stuck like we have to just stick with the VAT right now. So why not before VAT? Why like VAT was implemented in the few years back only? That basically government need revenue to circulate the government panel to facilitate the public. And fortunately in UAE, oil production is there. So government has sufficient amount of revenue other than the tax. And government found that no, we don't need taxation system in the country. But gradually they have implemented it. So in my point of view, tax is always a good thing because government needs money to facilitate the public. This is the taxation system. Then after, we have to understand there are three things on which we have to pay tax. One is what? Goods. One is what? Services. One is what? Goods. Goods means product. One is what? Services. And one is what? Income. One is what? Product. One is what? Service. One is what? Income. In any country, if you go, you will find government will charge the tax only on these three things: the transaction of product, transaction of service, and if you are earning an income, right? So now what I am thinking, if we have product, if we have services, right, and if we have income, understand the things what I'm going to teach you. Like three things we have: product, services, and the incomes. If we are using that services, if we are like taking the facility of the services, using the product, if we are earning that income, so I'm the responsible person to pay tax to the government authority, right? If I am the earning member, who will pay tax on behalf of me? Someone else? No, I have to pay tax to the government authority, right? If I am using that particular goods, let's say I bought this particular goods, okay? So if I bought this goods, I'm the one who is going to use that goods. So I should be responsible person to pay tax to the government authority. Similarly for services also. So I am thinking that, oh, if I am the responsible person to pay tax to the government authority, so I should pay. I should pay. Why should someone else pay my taxes? No, it doesn't sound good. I'm not giving you the conclusion of the taxation system. I'm putting you in a story. Just listen to me. Right. So what I'm thinking, that if I'm the responsible person to pay tax to the authority, I should pay. I should pay. But now there is a small problem the government has. What is the problem? I'm thinking that in a country, many people are living, and many people, even 5-year kid, even 70-year aged people, right? And they are purchasing maybe some chocolates, small groceries. Maybe like I bought in UAE, in Dubai, maybe 5 dirham of the chocolate, just 10 dirham of the chocolate, 5 dirham of the chocolate. Do you think that really I'm going to pay the VAT on that chocolate to the government authority? No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Can government circulate the things that, oh, Nishant has bought something and Nishant has to pay the VAT on that goods, but Nishant did not pay? Can government circulate this kind of things? Can government check one by one person that they are paying the tax on goods or not? It's not possible. Trust me, it's not possible. That's why government has made two mechanism. Understand? Government has made two process to collect VAT from the public. How many process? Two. Which is called which is called one is one is direct tax system, and one is indirect tax system. One is what? Direct tax, and one is what? Indirect tax. Listen carefully. Very simple line I will tell you, and that will conclude the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Actually, government wants public to pay tax very simply, very simple manner. That's why they had to make two process. So if I am the responsible person and if I am paying the tax by my name, listen carefully, it is very important statement. So if I am the responsible person and I am paying the tax by my name to the government, Nishant is responsible person and Nishant is paying tax to the government authority by whose name? By Nishant name itself. That is called direct taxation system. But by any chance, just for an example, there are two people, okay? One is Nishant and one is ABC supermarket, okay? So Nishant is purchasing some product. So who is the responsible person to pay the VAT on that, pay the tax on that? Of course, Nishant, because Nishant is the consumer of that product. So Nishant is the responsible person to pay tax to the government authority, but another process is what you know, Nishant will pay that tax to that supermarket people, not to the government authority. If Nishant is going to pay the tax, Nishant is the responsible person and Nishant is going to pay the tax to the supermarket person, to another person, not to the government, not to the government. And Nishant is paying the tax to the supermarket person and supermarket person is forwarding Nishant tax to the government authority by the name of Nishant? No, by the name of supermarket himself. That is called indirect tax for Nishant. Should we repeat it very quickly? Okay. Nishant is the responsible person to pay tax, and if Nishant is paying tax to the government authority by Nishant name only, in the paper it will be written Nishant name for the tax component who is paying Nishant, called direct tax. But if Nishant is paying the tax not to the government but someone else, and someone else is forwarding Nishant tax to the government authority by Nishant name? No, 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 by his name himself. That is called indirect. Indirect movement, na? Like Nishant is paying to someone else and someone else is paying the tax to the government authority. That is called indirect tax. So now government has made direct taxation system for what? For corporate tax. Government has made the direct taxation system for what? For what should I say? Corporate tax. Corporate tax. Okay. So if the company is earning, the corporate tax means what? Business income tax. Business income tax. Any person, right? Any company, any business, either small business, big business, doesn't matter. If they are earning the taxable income, so on the profit, if it crosses the limit, threshold limit, exemption limit, if it crosses the threshold limit, then they have to pay tax on that. So the business himself is going to pay corporate tax by the business himself name now. That is called what? Direct tax system, and that corporate tax comes under this mechanism. And indirect tax, this applies on product and the services. Product and the services. Right, product and the services. Understand one thing. Let's say these all are public. Understand carefully. I can just pass these things, right? And I can start very quickly the VAT portion. But trust me, it will create your foundation. You will be capable enough to understand the taxation system, right? Fortunately, if you will migrate maybe in like different countries, maybe US, if you go in like Japan, you go China, you go UK, if you go different countries or places I'm just talking about. So if you have the sound knowledge of the basics of the taxation system, trust me, you will never struggle with the VAT, with the GST, because you understand how these taxes are running. That is different. That maybe in UAE it is 5% VAT. In different country it could have 10%. It could have 15%. That is government to government different. But the mechanism will remain same. Process will remain same. Only the factual data you have to understand. So that's why we have to start from the scratch. Give me some time to explain each and every aspect. Right? Okay. So now what I was explaining, just consider these all are the public. Okay. So government has two choices. Choice number one, government will collect the tax on the product purchase, tax on the services purchase from all these people. It's not possible, as we have discussed before also, right? So government is saying, okay, these all are the public purchasing something from a supermarket. Am I right? Of course, yes, no? Maybe these publics are purchasing something from different supermarket. So supermarket people is the liable person. Supermarket people is the liable person to collect VAT from the public. Okay? To collect the VAT from public and forward that tax to the government authority. So at least government has one proper tax collection point from where government can collect the tax. Understand my point, right? Something like this. So now government doesn't need to go to the public and ask, did you pay the VAT? Did you pay the tax? No, they don't have to ask like that. And if the supermarket person is not collecting the VAT from the public, then supermarket person will be the responsible person, right? Liable person. So now maybe these supermarket, they are purchasing something from a big wholesaler. So now the wholesaler is the liable person to collect VAT from all the supermarket. So don't you think it is preparing a cone? Slowly, like government is not going to get the money from these public. Government is going to get the money, many public tax from a supermarket, many public tax from a supermarket, many supermarket tax from a wholesaler, something like this. So government has very less tax collection point from where government can collect the tax, right? So don't you think that collecting the VAT from the different public, it's very difficult? And rather to do that one, we can just assign a people, we can assign a like company, we can assign a like concerned a body to collect the VAT from the purchase, people, and pay the VAT to the government authority. So that's why when any person purchase product, when any person purchase services, so that purchaser is paying the tax to the supplier, and supplier himself by his name, by the supplier name, the tax will be forwarded to the government authority. That's why in the world you will see that corporate tax, income tax, that comes under direct nature, and the product and services related tax in UAE, what is that? VAT, that comes under indirect taxation system. Indirect taxation system. Other than VAT, of course, we have excise duty, right? We have custom duty. This all comes under what? Indirect nature. This all comes under indirect nature. So again, I'm telling you, we are not going to discuss this. We are not going to discuss this. We are going to discuss this one. Step by step, we have to go. So at least till now, we have understood what is tax, why this is necessary, what are the taxation system that the government will collect the money from the public. Two taxation system. One is direct, the person who is liable, who will pay the tax to the government authority directly. And indirect taxation system means the person who is liable to pay the tax, but he will pay the tax to someone else and someone else will forward that customer tax to the government authority. That is called indirect taxation system. So VAT comes under direct or indirect. Indirect, not in only UAE, in any country you can go. That is different thing. If you go to different country na, so you will not get the name VAT, you will get the name maybe GST. Maybe what? GST. So either GST or VAT, every single time you will get that comes under what? Indirect taxation system. Indirect taxation system. So till now we are done with. Now we have to write that. Again, do one thing. Let me show you something and let me create one scenario so that you will understand what is the concern of showing something to you, and we will start discussing. 1 second, so I will write street food vendor. Okay, street food vendor. Okay. Okay, so when you see this kind of street food vendor, okay, do you think that when they sell the product, they charge VAT from you? Do you think? Actually not. But same kind of goods, when you purchase from a big restaurant, same kind of food, maybe you purchase one plate of biryani from the street food vendor, so they will charge just biryani cost. They will not charge biryani plus 5% VAT, something like this in UAE. No, they won't charge. They won't charge, right? Hope you understand my point. But when you buy same kind of biryani from a big restaurant, proper restaurant, they will charge 5% VAT. So first we have to understand what is the mechanism of VAT, because I'm the same customer. When I am purchasing something from big restaurant, I am paying VAT, and when I am purchasing something from the street food vendor, I am not paying VAT. What is the logic behind it? What is the logic behind it? It is not like who has to pay VAT. No, it is like that who can collect VAT from the customer. Because if the customer is purchasing something and the supplier person is eligible to charge VAT, customer has to pay, customer can't deny it, trust me. So we have to discuss who can charge VAT and who cannot charge VAT. That is, we have understood that at the time of purchase of goods, at the time of purchase of services, we have to pay VAT. We have to pay VAT if supplier is charging. If supplier is charging. So now the question comes in our mind, who will charge and who will not charge? Who will charge and who will not charge? Who can charge VAT? We have to discuss only that kind of business entity, because we have to understand VAT. And VAT, if that business is charging, we will discuss that business. If that business is not charging, why will consider that kind of business in this particular session, right? Okay, so now first we have to understand the business. Okay, actually it is in two categories. It is in two categories. One is they are unregistered. Unregistered where? Unregistered in VAT. Now we are discussing about the VAT, so we will discuss only related to the VAT things. And one is what? Registered. One is what? Registered. So when any business is unregistered, they won't be able to charge, because they don't have license to collect the VAT from the customer. So they won't charge any VAT from the customer at all. Are we going to discuss this particular business? Not at all. Not at all, right? When we have to convert from unregistered to registered, and that person will be able to charge the VAT from the customer. So we have to discuss only what? Registered business. Registered business. Okay. Now the point is that when any business will be unregistered and when any business will be registered. When any business will be unregistered and when any business will be registered. That we have to discuss. It's all about, you know what? It's all about sales, turnover. If any business, listen carefully, if any business, maybe I'm running a business and I want to know that do I need to take license of VAT? Do I need to get register in VAT? So what I have to check, if I am in the month of May, okay, forget about May. From the April, if I am in the month of what? May, don't consider May. Don't consider May. From the April, last 12 months, like April, March, February, January, December, you have to go to 12 months. Last 12 months or upcoming 30 days. Two things I'm telling you. One is what? Last 12 months or upcoming 30 days. Last 12 months, if you have the turnover of below 187,500 dirham, you are not required to get registered. Or if you have the turnover last 12 months is crossing the limit of 187,500, then you might get registration in the VAT. You will say, Mr. Nishant, you were discussing about the upcoming 30 days also. Now, what does it mean? Slowly. So, what I'm telling you, if your last 12 months turnover is below 187,500 dirham, then you are very much unregistered person. You don't have your business. You means your business. Of course, I'm not talking about personally you. I'm talking about your business. So, your business doesn't have to take registration in VAT. But if your business turnover in this case last 12 months or upcoming 30 days expected turnover, maybe you are getting big contract and you find like you are going to get big money from one of the customers you have in upcoming 30 days. Very strong expectations, right? So if you have last 12 months turnover or upcoming 30 days expected turnover, you can't include them. I'm talking about either or, right? So if you have the last 12 months business turnover more than 187,500, if you are below that, don't get registration. Kalas, very simple. If you are more than that one is 187,500, more than that one, but less than 375,000. In that case, government is saying that if you want to get registered in UAE VAT, you are welcome. You can get registration. So now technically, I am categorizing the registration in two phases. One is what? Optional registration. है ना? One is what? Optional registration. When the last 12 months or upcoming 30 days turnover is more than 187,500 dirham, okay, but less than what? 375,000. Maybe your business has the turnover of 200,000, 250,000, 300,000. You fall in this category. So in this case, you are very much free to take the decision whether you should get the registration in the VAT regime or not. But by any chance, if you have the turnover of more than 375,000, period will remain same, last 12 months or upcoming 30 days. In this case, the registration will be mandatory, compulsory, which means I'm just giving you the summary of this one, the registration, like a checking process. If you have the turnover, right now, I will not say last 12 months or upcoming 30 days because you understand my point. So if you have the turnover below 187, 500 dirham, don't take registration. You are kid. Just understand my point. You are very much small player, right? Don't take registration. Don't come into the books of accounts, maintenance, this, that, VAT, return file, VAT 201, blah, 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 multiple. No, don't do. Focus on the business. If your turnover is more than 187,500, but less than 375,000, more than 187,500, less than 375,000, you are growing. And that time government wants you to check whether you won't get registration in VAT. If yes, get registration. Make it simple, right? And if you don't want, don't take. Nobody will force you if you are in the bracket of 187,500 to 375,000. But by any chance, if the last 12 months or upcoming 30 days turnover is crossing the limit of 375,000, that time you have to get the VAT registration on mandatory basis. You can't say no, I will not take the VAT registration. No, you have to take. Because that time VAT is compulsory. So now I'm talking about last 12 months sales, annual turnover. Many times I'm telling you. So technically we have to discuss turnover. I'm not denying it, but you have to consider two things. One is what? Last 12 months sales also, and last 12 months import value also. Sales plus import value. Whenever you will check the limit, threshold limit, exemption limit, you have to consider two things. One is what? Sales. One is what? Import value. If you have import plus, not I'm talking about either or, no. If you have import plus sales all together crossing the limit 187,500, before 375 optional, more than 375 mandatory registration, right? Actually government is not forcing you in the category of 187 to 375, but government saying that you are growing now. So actually just understand, if you go to any big business, okay, and when you purchase any product, if they are charging VAT, it means they have the good turnover. Good turnover means what? They purchase the product and they don't keep the product long time in their warehouse, they sell the product. But if you have much amount of capital, you purchase the product, and if you don't have the VAT license, don't you think that it shows that you have purchase then sales, process is very slow. That's why you don't have much amount of the sales in 1 year. That's why you are not getting the VAT. So I'm not saying, but somehow it creates a questions of credibility, your market fit or not, directly or indirectly. But as a consumer, even I will think of this. So it is very good sign to get the VAT license, trust me. So that's why government is just indirectly approaching you. If you're in the bracket of 187,500 to 375, sorry, below 375, get registration. And one thing that if not if, I will say, when I will discuss with you input VAT, output VAT, input VAT recovery, and something, that time you will find that one very technical reason why you should get registration, even if you are falling in the category of 187 to 375. VAT is very much optional, but you should get VAT license. One technical process is there, but this one I can't teach you right now because I have to go to step by step. And to understand that one, we have to understand input VAT, output VAT, VAT recovery, small things. So let me go to that step first, then I will teach you that one also. Why VAT registration we should take if even if we have the turnover between 187 500 but below 375. Understand my point? So these things we have understood. VAT registration, VAT unregistered person, right? Now, then after, then after, in any business, let's say ABC LLC. Okay. So one is what? Purchase. Purchase of what? Purchase of either product or the sales services. Only two things can be happened, no? So here I'm writing purchase and here I'm writing what? Sales. So if this person is registered person, I will consider this party only when he is a registered people. Otherwise, why should I consider this business? We have discussed before, right? We are learning VAT, and VAT can be treated only in the case of registered business person, right? So when he will purchase the VAT product, that time, just for an example, he is purchasing the product of 10,000. Okay, and from whom he is purchasing, the supplier is also registered, I'm considering. So this time he has to pay 10,000 into 5% VAT. As everybody knows in UAE that VAT is what? 5% in UAE, no? You will say that Mr. Nishant, exempt VAT is also there, 0% is also there. I will reach that level also. But normally you will know what? 5% is the VAT. Normally what you will know? 5% is the VAT. On a standard, you can check in any business. So let me go to that way only. So you have to pay 5% VAT on that. How much you will pay VAT? 500. How much total you are paying to that person? 10,500. You will sell the product. Is it compulsory you are selling the product exactly what you have purchased? No, 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 no. You can sell the same product, you can sell the different product also. It's possible, right? So maybe you are selling the product at how much I should take? Maybe 15,000. And since you are registered person, you have a license to pay to charge VAT from the customer. So you will charge 5% VAT. That would be how much? 750, right? 15,000 into 5%. So 15,750. Now this type of transaction will keep on going. I'm considering only one transaction over here and I want to conclude something. But this might happen monthly basis, quarterly basis, back to back purchases, back to back sales, and normal happenings in the business. Okay, so now whatever the VAT you are collecting from the customer, can't we say it is VAT on sales? Yes, no, we can say this one is called output VAT. This one is called what? Output VAT. How much of it? 750. Output VAT. Output VAT means what? You are giving the goods. You are selling the goods, no? So you are giving the goods to the customer and you are collecting VAT from him. So goods is going out, and you are collecting the VAT. That is called, it is called output tax. Means output VAT. Okay. On the same way, when we are buying the product, purchasing the product, that time we are getting the product in. Product is coming in. That is called what? Input VAT. So now I can write over here VAT on sales 750. Okay. Then after VAT on purchase. In short, I'm writing over here VAT on purchase. Can't we say this is input VAT? Of course, yes, na. How much of it? 500. Okay. So 750, understand carefully, 750 I have collected from the customer. 750 I have collected from the customer. 500 I have paid to the supplier. Okay, 750 I have collected from the customer. When I'm collecting 750 now, government is not saying, I'm just making a story to make you understand how VAT treatment is going to be happened. So when you're collecting 750 dirham, government is saying, give me the VAT. Give me the VAT, because you can collect, you can be a collector of VAT, but you can't hold the VAT with you. You have to forward this VAT to the government authority. So government is saying that you have collected VAT 750, give me the VAT. So you are thinking, oh, 750 I have collected, but already I have paid 500 dirham to the supplier, na? Already that person has paid 500 dirham to the supplier. And will supplier hold that tax? No, it's not possible. Supplier will forward that tax to the government authority. So technically, you have already paid 500 to the government authority. You understand my point? You paid to the supplier, and supplier will forward your tax to the government authority. No? So you are thinking you have 750 in your hand, but you are saying to the government, sir, I have already paid 500 dirham. Check please. Nobody's checking. He's saying to the government, I have paid. I'm just making a story, right? So 750 is with that person when he sold the product to the customer. So government department is saying, oh, you have already paid 500 dirham to the supplier. Okay, don't do anything. Already you have paid 500. So now how much you have to pay? Only 250 dirham, because altogether how much you have collected? 750. If you can't hold the money of the VAT, so you don't have to pay the VAT on the purchases, because you are not the user. You are the intermediary. So the conclusion is what? The conclusion is whatever the VAT you are collecting from the customer, that is 750, minus whatever the VAT you have paid to the supplier. So out of 750, you know what I will do? I will take 500 and I will keep in my pocket. I will take this 500, the amount what I have paid to the supplier, no? So I will take that money and I will keep in my pocket. What is the remaining amount in my hand? 250, no? 250. That I will take and I will pay to the government authority. So you will say that, Mr. Nishant, technically you want to say the VAT payment or VAT payable amount by the person would be 750 minus 500. Answer is yes. Answer is yes. How much he has to pay? 250. How much he has to pay? 250. So government is giving you the big relaxation. Government is not asking. Many of you may understand what I'm keep on repeating, but trust me, it is important. Okay. So what government is saying, that you are collecting 750, that entire 750 you have to pay? No, you have to pay the amount. You have to pay the amount what is the surplus, means how much you have received minus the amount what you have paid to the supplier. That money you can take it back in your pocket. And now the extra money, 250 in my scenario, you have to pay to the government authority. So do you think in the case of purchase, I'm talking about this particular thing, this one, in the case of purchase, this 500 will impact my product costing? No, this 500 dirham, it will not impact my product costing. Why? Because right now I am paying 500 at the time of purchase to the supplier, but later on I will take money back from the customer. Trust me, when I will get the 750, 750, 800 dirham or something, so I will take that 500 back in my pocket. So the amount what I'm paying to the supplier, that I will get it back. So the product costing will be only what, 10,000. Only 10,000. Understand? Okay. Only 10,000. And when we are collecting 750 from the customer, so 750 is the money that you are like calculating for the VAT payable. Is it your money? No. 250 amount you are paying to the government authority, that is you are paying from your pocket? No. So technically you are not paying anything from your pocket. You are paying 500, that you are taking it back. You are collecting 750, out of that you are keeping 500 in your pocket again, and the surplus 250 you are paying to the government authority. So technically, if you are registered person, you have a benefit of not paying tax from your pocket. The amount what you will receive from the customer, that only you just have to transfer. Very big benefit. Just imagine, if you are unregistered person, if you are unregistered person, can you charge this VAT? Understand carefully. Can you charge this VAT from the customer? No, you can't. You can't charge because you don't have license. You are unregistered person. And can you play with this particular things? No, you can't play. You can't play. Because you don't have to pay to the you don't have to pay VAT to the government authority, because you are not a registered collector of the VAT. You can't charge VAT. You will say, sir, big problem. What is the problem? The money, the 500 what I'm paying to the supplier, I will not get it back. You can't get it back, dear. You can't get it back, because in this particular scenario, if you are unregistered person, you can't charge VAT. You can't play this kind of activity, VAT on sales minus VAT on purchase, the VAT payable. You can't do this kind of calculation. So every single time when you are unregistered person, so every single time whenever you purchase the product and you pay 5% VAT on that, you can't collect back that amount while selling the product. So every single time you are compromising, every single time you are compromising of 5% profit margin. Imagine, in this competitive market, people are selling the product at a profit of 1%, 2%, 3%, and you are compromising 5% of the profit margin just because of the VAT. You can't collect it back because you are not a registered person. Understand my point? For registered person, 500 will be coming back. 250, the customer has to pay that VAT, and customer amount that the business person has to transfer to the government authority. The business person doesn't have to pay VAT from his pocket if he is registered. If he is unregistered, he has to pay VAT always from his pocket. That you can't claim. That VAT cannot be taken back, that cannot be claimed, that will not be recovered. That will not be recovered. Now tell me, if you are the person, if you are running a business with the turnover of above 187,500 but below 375,000, maybe 200,000, 300,000 something in the last previous 12 months, do you think that still you should be unregistered? Now you will say no. Big no. Because if you are registered a person, every single time you will pay the VAT, and whenever you will sell the product, you will collect the VAT, and you will take the money, the VAT what you have paid to the supplier, you will take it back, the 500 amount in my scenario. So your cost of product will be 5% down. You can raise more amount of profit. Your credibility in the market will be very high because you are VAT licensed people. You understand my point? If you go to the bank loan, if you will go to the bank for a loan, so that time you will be checked on the credibility basis, and the VAT license number, TRN number, tax registration number, 15 digits number. If that is with you, you will be having one extra check mark, or you are little bit more upper side. So small things are there that you should take registration and continue with the VAT. Right? So till now, what we have understood, what is tax, why this is, what is the importance of this. Okay. Then after direct tax and indirect tax, then after we have understood VAT always comes under indirect taxation system. Then we have understood who will charge VAT, who will not charge VAT. Then we have discussed output tax, input tax. Output tax means tax on sales, the amount what the VAT amount what we receive from the customer. Input tax, tax on purchase, the VAT amount what we pay to the supplier, the VAT amount, the amount of VAT what we pay to the supplier. And and when we can do this 750 minus this 500, it means this input tax what I already paid to the supplier, that is I am recovering it. What I have told you, out of 750, take this 500 back to and keep in your pocket. So you are recovering the input tax. So the output, understand carefully, when the output tax minus input tax, the rest amount you are paying to the government authority, so the input tax that you can adjust, the tax on purchases that you can adjust against tax on sales, means the input tax I am talking about this one can be adjusted from the output tax. The amount of what we have adjusted, that is called input tax recovery. Input tax recovery. In my example, how much amount of VAT recovery? 500. And the rest amount we have to pay to the government authority. That is VAT payable. When we will pay the VAT, that will be VAT paid. VAT paid. So for today's session, I want to keep till this much. If you have enjoyed my video, please hit the like button. Do subscribe to get more and more videos related to this accounts and taxation. And trust me, you will enjoy the topic. My teaching style will be surprised you that you will get the knowledge slowly you will get, but every single topic you will understand, you will digest, and you will conclude yourself that you are smart enough to handle the things. And if you find that even your friends, family members who are from the same department, account department, they want to enhance their skills, so you can share this video. We'll see you with the next topic, the VAT treatment or exempt product, zero rated transaction, small things we will start learning in the next video. All right, good day.